Oh, yes. I was about to overheat. If that ain't a gift from God, woof, I don't know what is. I think I'm gonna need another one.
I think you're gonna need a hose.
Amen to that. It is a modern day reimagining of the most iconic love stories from the Bible, blending faith and healing and second chances in a way only award-winning producer and best-selling author Devon Franklin can deliver. He brought us the movie Breakthrough and Flamin' Hot, and now he's teaming up with Tyler Perry to share his new love drama. And Paige got to sit down with him to learn so much more about the new movie, Ruth Boaz, before it takes off on Netflix this Friday. Take a look.
So besides being a movie producer and an author, you're also a spiritual leader. What inspired you to choose this particular biblical narrative and turn it into a movie?
You know, what inspired me was just my personal story, right? I was navigating a season of being single, and I was looking through the Bible to try to find guidance on what it means to be single, and I was studying the book of Ruth. And as I was studying the book of Ruth, the thing that was amazing about that story is that Ruth found love, but she wasn't looking for it. She had made a commitment to be of service to Naomi. And that idea that so often we're looking for love and we don't find it, but if we just make the commitment to be of service, even as someone who's single, that love will be the reward of that. And so for me, it was very healing. And then I said, wait, this has never been a movie. This reads like a movie. And so I said, why don't we do a modern version of this story? We need love right now. We need connection. We need to be able to put, the story back into the culture. And I just felt like it was a great opportunity because I thought if it was speaking to me, it would speak to others.
I am all in. I loved the things that you stated about so many times we are searching, we're desperate for love. And if we can switch that paradigm to be serving, then you can receive grace, and that can come in the form of love.
Absolutely.
That is remarkable. So why did you feel now was the right time to kind of reimagine it?
Because I felt like, wait a minute, there hasn't been a love story, a great love story in a long time. And when you go back to the book of Ruth, the foundation of this story, like you mentioned earlier, is so iconic and has been around for generations. And I really felt like it had the underpinnings of a great story. And when you see this movie, you will see that it really works and this story really holds up. And I just felt like now is the time. We got to use, Hollywood to create things that are uplifting and inspirational.
Positive,
unifying. That you can watch with your whole family.
Yes.
And that's what I'm about. And that's why I wanted to do this movie right now.
Well, you've got a star-studded cast as
Yes.
well. All right, let's talk about it. Sharia, also Tyler LaPlay and Felicia Rashad, they all bring, that's incredible talent that you have to work with. How did their performances and their chemistry, most importantly, how did that resonate on screen?
Oh my goodness. I mean, well, first of all, let's talk about how it resonated off screen, okay?
Oh, okay.
So Tyler LaPlay, who plays Boaz, and Soraya, who plays Ruth, I mean, when I first auditioned them in their first chemistry read, it was evident that they were meant to play these iconic parts. And then once they got on set, the chemistry that they had, the heart that they brought to bring this love story to life was just phenomenal. And then when you add the legendary Felicia Rashad, every time she was on set, she just brought an aura of dignity and elegance.
I love her.
I love her too.
She is
amazing.
fantastic,
She
a
is.
great
Yes.
actor. And also, speaking of greatness, Tyler Perry. So that's somebody that you partnered with him on this movie, the creative. I'm curious about that creative collaboration. What was that like for you?
It was phenomenal. I mean, Tyler Perry, many of you, know of him, but I actually know him.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
And he's amazing. He gave me access to his entire studio in Atlanta, all of his phenomenal, executive and production team to help me make this film. And what it was like was pure collaboration, support, guidance, insight. And when you're doing a partnership, especially a producing partnership, making movies are hard.
Right.
And so you want to make sure that when you're producing with someone, you have someone in the trenches. And Tyler was in the trenches, giving guidance, giving support to make sure that this movie came out as great as it ultimately did.
But as you said, it's a true collaboration.
Yes.
I love the fact that he did indeed collaborate, that he
Yes.
didn't just take over the reins, that he worked with you
Oh, yeah.
and was a part of it and helped you kind of move the ball forward and also fulfill your vision.
Yes.
Now
yes.
that's remarkable.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is absolutely remarkable. But also the story, it explores things like grief, redemption,
Sure.
finding purpose after loss. What do you hope that your audiences are going to connect with most? And what do you hope that they leave the movie theater knowing and feeling?
Yeah, this is one of those rare movies where I think men and women will connect to the story, because I think men will see themselves in the character of Boaz, and I think women will see themselves in the character of Ruth. And what I want them to really connect to is that when you look at Boaz, Boaz sees who Ruth really is. He's not trying to take from her, he's trying to give to her. And the thing about Ruth, she's been through tragedies, she's been through challenges. And the thing that she does is she keeps her heart open, even in the face of pain. And as a result, not only can love go out, but love is actually able to come in. And I really want audiences to connect to that no matter what you go through in life, no matter what season you may be in, no matter what tragedy, no matter what trauma, keep your heart open, because love is the most powerful force in the universe. And you have to open up your heart to let it out, and you have to keep your heart open to let it in.
You know, this is also compelling because this is a faith-driven movie. And I'm curious about, what do you hope that other filmmakers, how do you hope that this film might inspire them to tell like-minded stories such as these?
You know, my thing is, I've been in Hollywood since I was 18 years old. Wow. And I came to Hollywood because I wanted to make movies that would be uplifting and inspirational. And I believe faith is the real superpower. So, you know, with a superhero movie, you can't go put on a suit and fly around Dallas and say, but you can believe in God.
And that can be your
superpower. So I want other filmmakers to go back and say, wow, when you look at the power of faith on screen, we have just begun.
It transcends.
It transcends.
It absolutely
and I want
does.
people to see this movie and be inspired
Thank
to
you.
tell more inspirational stories.
You've inspired me. I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing this movie with us. You can watch Ruth and Boaz on Netflix on September 26th.